I'm a creature of habit, meaning that once I find something that works, and I use the term works loosely, I don't do anything but that. I have lived in London for 4 months now and can count on one hand the amount of times I've actually strayed from the daily routine that is going to school, going back home, doing chores, and grocery shopping. I mean, come on, Ify. You didn't just fly across an entire ocean just to only be a student, even though that's exactly what my visa says I did. Moving here was supposed to be life-altering, reality-shattering, Big Bang Part 2, but it was actually more like... I love how I said I was going to leave, and I just sat here for like 10 minutes eating because I'm so hungry. Every day I wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go outside, I'm going to film something, I'm actually going to leave my flat. And then every day I wake up and it looks like this. Place your bare feet on the What am I supposed to do? Go outside and cry? And this is not me saying that the mundane daily rituals of my life aren't something to be cherished, because they most definitely are, but I know that in order to sustain some semblance of serotonin in my system, I'm gonna need to do more. Done are the days of passively sitting around on my bed waiting for someone to invite me to do something. Sometimes life just happens and then you roll along with it. But waiting around wasn't working for me, so I decided that in order to not just exist, I had to make life happen for me. December rolled around, and with December came my winter break. I had originally made plans to, do things, but that thing that's been plaguing the world for like the past 2 years? Yeah, that kind of got in my way. I never knew it was possible to catch COVID from one interaction with the delivery driver giving me my Indian food after literally not being around a single person for that entire week, but thus it is I that always seems to be accomplishing the impossible. My symptoms weren't too far off from what I've experienced from a common cold, so it was manageable, except for the part where I almost passed out because I was standing for too long trying to wash my dishes. But 10 days of isolation and 2 failed PCR tests later, I was finally able to begin the journey that was doing an activity that required me to leave my flat. I have booked myself a pole dancing class. I'm going to answer the non-existent question, that is, why would you book a pole dancing class? And that's because why not? I wanted to do pole dancing, or at least attempt a pole dancing class, for a very long time. It requires an insane amount of strength, and I don't have that, so why not do the thing that will create it? I'm going to get myself finished. Wow, Ify English. Starts learning Korean and then can't start speaking English correctly. I'm going to get the rest of my stuff together so I can actually leave and get there on time. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Come on, you're coming with me. I didn't have any expectations about taking this class, as I've never done pole dancing before. I essentially learned how to swing and hang around on a pole, which kind of reignited a core memory of me swinging and sliding down the pole at the playground near the PAL Center. I didn't think that my body was capable of doing the things that I've seen so many people do on poles before, but it was a really fulfilling experience to have this serve as yet again another reminder that I am so much more capable than what I give myself credit for. My triceps were sore for 2 days after, and I look forward to possibly doing another class in the future. I had intended on heading home after class, but seeing as the weather was actually decent, I made the spontaneous decision, which might I add never happens, to go somewhere to watch the sunset. You take everything. When your body's full of fright and the ceiling's caving in. It's like actually decent weather today. Sunsets and sunrises are a major source of joy for me, and I never really gave myself the opportunity to watch them during the term as I was so stuck in the routine that I had set for myself. This was the first time in 4 months where I actually witnessed a proper one. London has been throwing around my mental and emotional health like the Hulk did Loki with this inconsistent and depressing weather. I'm not kidding when I say that for about a week or two straight, there was a gray sheet in the sky. I now know that in the future, if the weather is permitting, I need to make the time to go watch the sunset. I had booked a ticket to go visit the Barbican Conservatory because I saw a video about it on Pinterest, and then my brain was like, yes, Ify, go there. There also happened to be a collaboration with an artist that involved these cloud light things hanging from the ceiling, which was a little added bonus to this adventure. Past the I just got back from the conservatory, and it was like kind of boring but also kind of interesting. Maybe it's just me, but there's only but so much fun you can have looking at plants, especially at night. Maybe if I had had someone like explaining to me the kinds of plants I was looking at. They did have like an audio thing, but I didn't realize they had it until I was leaving, so that was, you know, good on me for not realizing that until kind of too late. I was so hungry I had to go get fries from McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's, but I had to go get fries from there because I was starving. Like, I was so hungry I was shaking. December 31st. What to say about December 31st besides the fact that it was extremely uneventful? I am the one to blame though, as my inconsistency on Instagram resulted in me missing a group message from my friends inviting us all to spend the New Year's together. The one thing that did happen though was that, as you can see, I finally dyed my hair a different color. You're literally on my shower. Please excuse how dirty this is. I'm gonna clean it when I'm done dyeing my hair, because why clean it twice? I hope that this doesn't fall.
If suffering's a way to earn your keep, I better start putting miles on my feet.
It is now 9 p.m., 9 hours after I said I was going to start this process. I need to change my shirt. Alright, I'm back. I changed my shirt. Now I'm ready to dye my hair. When I re-bleached my hair before the school year started, I kind of jacked it up even more than when I had bleached it back in April. Instead of two-toned hair, I now had three-toned hair. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, and I kind of missed the golden blonde I had before I re-bleached it the second time. But I've also been wanting to dye my hair some sort of icy blue lavender and thought to myself, well, no better time to do it than right now. Granted, the color's a lot darker than what I had intended, but I know that the color will eventually fade out as I continue to wash it. 2022 is apparently going to be the year where Efi is not afraid to dye their hair some sort of funky color. Every time they do fireworks out here, I have to remind myself that number one, I'm not in Baltimore anymore, and number two, I'm in a country with stricter gun laws, so I don't have to wonder whether or not the sounds I'm hearing are gunshots or if they're fireworks. I know that they're fireworks. I always cut myself trying to open this thing. Then came the highly anticipated 11:59 p.m. Sat at my desk, FaceTiming my family, who might I add was 5 hours behind me, with a bottle of cider, a fork as a bottle opener, and the underwhelming London New Year's Eve live stream. I was ready to ring in my first New Year's alone. Hi! So I never showed you the finished hair color. This is it. It's a lot darker than what I was going for, but I'm all ready to go now, so. Whenever I'd walk to M&S to finish my grocery shopping for the week, I'd always see these posters advertising this artist's installation, and if I'm being 100% honest, the main reason why I even gave my attention to it in the first place was because the name of the artist was the exact same name of the author Haruki Murakami. But I mean, it gave me some sort of excuse to witness some sort of art. I was on winter break and I finally had the time to go to an event, so I decided to go. Sometimes I get desensitized to art and media after not experiencing a variety of it for a long period of time, or from experiencing too much of it all at once. I'll go numb, and then I'll get anxious because I'm numb. I love my little neurodivergent brain. I still don't know what the installation was about, still don't know what or who inspired it, and I unfortunately still don't know who the artist is, which is very bad on my part, but I am grateful to myself that I didn't just ignore the posters and all of the advertising for it during my little grocery shopping excursions. By the time I actually finished editing this video, spring term would have already started, and I am so sure that at some point I will get swept away by the tide that is the conditioning I've received surrounding the ideology that my life should revolve around school and that completing work is undoubtedly more important than having some sort of life that has nothing to do with educational institutions. It is unfortunately inevitable that I will experience this, but what I can also make inevitable is me making an effort to actually do something. Life happens for me during these small, minute moments, and I'm not saying all of this to claim that my problem that I've had for years is solved by this realization, but what I am hoping is that this can serve as a catalyst for me to actually do something about it. I'm not required to perform these over-the-top, extremely large gestures to finally feel something, even though sometimes that is what it takes. These small moments like watching the sunset, making some cocoa bread, going to an art exhibit, taking a walk are just as important as the large things. I just have to be willing to make the effort to indulge in them because they're all there. They've always been there, and I've just been ignoring them. Thank you once again for sitting through yet another self-important monologue. Endings are awkward for me, and I'm not good at saying goodbye, so